Next up from our affiliate WSM-TV in Nashville, Tennessee, Mr. Jerry Lee Lewis, who in June of this year was rushed to a Memphis hospital with a ruptured stomach. He had 2 emergency operations and doctors gave him a slim chance of survival. He remained in intensive care for over 2 months and now he says the killer is back. He is here tonight making his first public appearance from WSM-TV in Nashville. Would you please welcome the rock and roll great, the killer himself, Mr. Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lee.
Thank you.
Jerry Lee, you look fine, but you appear to have lost some weight from the last time we met. Has that been one of the results of this whole thing?
Yes, Tom. I would imagine about 40 pounds.
40 pounds.
Right.
How chancy was this? I said that the doctors said your chances for survival were slim. How slim?
Well, I think that he gave me a 50-50 chance, and then it got really where he told a couple of people that I really didn't have a chance.
Mm-hmm. Were you scared?
I really didn't know that much about it at the time, but after they told me about it when I got out of the hospital, it kind of scared me, yes.
Well, what did the doc say to you, Jerry, when he was just, I'm assuming that he discussed the surgery with you before the fact. Did he go through with you what's that in your hand there, a cigar?
I'm sorry.
You know, is that a big fat cigar?
I can't quite hear you, Tom.
Oh.
Having a little trouble there.
Must have a bad connection, huh?
No, we're all right.
I was going to say, if the doctor sees that, there might be some new prescriptions, new advice. What did he say to you about this surgery and what would be involved before the fact?
Well, he didn't really advise me on anything. I was in such a bad shape. When I went to the hospital, I had a 2-inch tear in my stomach. I guess caused from pushing it, working hard, and going and traveling too much. And I don't know, I was in the ambulance going to the hospital. I remember that, and it had a blowout. And they had to send another ambulance to pick me up from this ambulance. And when I got to the hospital, I remember a few things the doctor said, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And,
so you really didn't think about dying before the operation. Did you think about it afterwards, your chances for survival? And if so, what did you think about? You know, some people would look back on their lives and say, well, I wish I hadn't done this or I wish I hadn't done that. Did you do any of that at all?
I done a lot of praying, yes.
Yeah?
I sure did. I done a lot of thinking, and a lot of things run through my mind, and I just thank God that I'm living, and I made it, and only by the grace of God I did make it.
How's your stamina now? I ask that because I wonder if you're strong enough to go back to work when you think you might be back on stage performing, because you put an awful lot of energy into the act.
Well, we're supposed to go back to work on the 29th of this month in Dallas, and I feel like I'll be all right.
Okay. How is your life going to change because of this? And I'm thinking of it in 2 ways. Number one, diet, taking care of yourself, not working so hard. And on the other hand, easing back a little bit on some of the social pleasures of life, if you know what I mean. An occasional cocktail with dinner, etc., etc.
I would imagine several of them. I will do that, yes. I've already done it.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be drinking as much, and I won't be pushing myself as hard as I used to because I can't. And but I'll do the best I can. I will give the people a good show, and I feel like I can, and I'm just looking forward to getting back to work again. I think it'll really help me.
What about the rupture in the stomach itself? Have they pinned down what caused that, what the medical reasons were for it?
No, not really, except that I've had a little trouble with my stomach off and on for about the last 10 years. And I don't know, he said the pressure just built up inside my stomach. He said I was such a high-strung person anyway. He said he didn't know how. I was supposed to, he said I should have been dead before I even got to the hospital.
How did you know that something was wrong? Would you get a stomach ache?
I had a bad heartburn, and I couldn't get rid of it, and it kept getting worse and worse. And about 12 o'clock, about 1 o'clock in the morning, I got up and I had some stuff you take for heartburn. I don't know what it is, Roads again. Mm-hmm. And so I mixed an old home remedy, which is just water and baking soda. I drank that, and that was my mistake, I think. And I just felt it just bursted on me right there.
Okay. Got to stop for commercials. We'll continue with Jerry Lee Lewis from Nashville, Tennessee, right after this for our sponsors and the NBC television. Before going back to Nashville, WSM-TV, and Jerry Lee Lewis, I'd like to show you a little videotape of his last appearance on the Tomorrow program where he was performing for us, doing the killer rock and roll. Let's go to the videotape. Here it comes right now. A little bit of Jerry Lee Lewis in his most recent appearance on Tomorrow Coast to Coast.
Somewhere every night where the music's playing loud, doing all them 50 steps in the 1980 crowd. The dim lights hide the mileage line, the Farrell hides the gray. He'll never mention anything to give his age away. From 17 to 25, he'll prove he's still a man. Boy, you're holding to a candle, and it's burning at both ends. You're 39 and holding.
That's coming back on September 29th in Dallas, Texas, you promised, huh?
Right.
All right. Now, there's a question I have to ask you, and I know it's a little sensitive, but there's a problem with the record company, Elektra Records. They are claiming that you breached or that you weren't in performance, properly in performance, that you were doing things to hurt yourself, and you are countersuing them. What is the status of that legal action right now?
I really don't know what the problem is, Tom. I fulfill my contract to the utmost. And there's nobody, but nobody has ever worked any harder in the studio than me. And I can prove that by several people or several producers. And I don't know, I think it's some jealousy within the company itself. And with some of the other artists, maybe. Jimmy Bowen, perhaps. I don't know. But I don't know what the problem is. They're the one that has breached the contract, not me.
Is there any truth to their statement at all? And I'm accepting what you've told me. The statement that they've made that maybe you were drinking a little too hard and not showing up for work on time. Any truth at all to that position?
Not a bit. Not a bit of truth in that.
Will you now have to look for a new record company? Obviously.
Well, I will look for a new record company, yes. I don't have to, but I will.
How do you go about doing that? I guess in your case, you wait for the phone to ring.
Well, I really don't know what would be the problem. I think a record company should accept me. If they don't,
they're crazy.
Really?
Mr. Lewis, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and you get better real fast. Best opening in Dallas on the 29th of September. The next time you're up this way, you know you're always welcome here.
Thank you, Tom, and God bless you.
Okay, God bless you back. Mr. Jerry Lee Lewis. Thanks to our friends at WSM-TV in Nashville for making that possible. We'll continue after these announcements.